Hey guys, I'm here with Alexis Perry, who's a local Charleston-based singer-songwriter artist who's going to be playing at our Femme Fest event on Saturday, which is very exciting. So, how are you doing?
Good. I'm, staying busy, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Same. We're living. Very excited about Femme Fest.
Yeah.
So I'll just start with a little basic intro questions so anyone who doesn't know your music can get familiar with you. So if you could just start by introducing yourself and what kind of music you like to make and just a little bit about Alexis Perry.
Right. Okay. So I'm Alexis Perry for everyone who doesn't know. And I'm going to be at Femme Fest on Saturday. The kind of music I make, I always struggle with that question, trying to pinpoint a genre. But I think of myself as somewhere between indie rock and alternative pop. So kind of basic, kind of not. And yeah, I've been making music since I was 16, or at least recording since then. So it's been a couple years. Cool. I think those were the things.
Awesome. No, that's great. No, that's so young and really cool. Yeah, I also struggle with genre. I hate asking people what genre are you? Because it's nobody I feel really fits into that one box. No. It's hard. But I realized the other day one of the genres I love a lot is called freak folk.
What is that? That sounds awesome.
I know. I was like, this is not real. It was on for it was the Spotify Wrapped showed you what kind of genre you're listening to, and it was freak folk. And I was like, it's Animal Collective. I don't know. But very strange. Anyway, yeah. But I know it's tough, but
right, it's limiting to pinpoint a genre because what if I want to do something new the next time?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's always changing in their musical elements and stuff, but it's really cool that you started at 16. So I guess one thing I wanted to ask was, I know that we talked before the interview that we were both in newspaper together.
Yes.
So I know you were a writer as well. Did you start with writing first, or was it music, or what was
it
that?
Was definitely writing first. I tried a lot of different types of writing actually before I got to songwriting. Before that, I was trying to write plays, short stories, poems. Songwriting's the only one that stuck. And that was probably when I was 12 or 13. And then I learned guitar so that I could actually write the songs. Okay. And then that's kind of where it went from there.
Amazing. Okay. And what was it about music that kind of pulled you in? Was somebody in your family big into music, or was it just kind of a feeling that you had?
No one in my family really does music. My older brother does make songs, but he does more EDM music, and I didn't know that until 2 years after I started recording. He for some reason told none of us. Love that for him.
Random.
Yeah, no, he was just oh yeah, I have an album, and I was like, what?
Oh, love that.
So I guess it is in the family to be musically inclined. But no, my parents don't really do music. I don't really have any other relatives, but for any artist or musician or writer, there's always that internal calling that kind of you just it falls into your lap, I think.
Yeah.
No,
I love that.
Right.
Very natural progression. I like that. So I know that you said you play guitar and you sing as well. Do you produce your own music as well, or
the songs I have out on Spotify right now, I have produced myself, but it wasn't my equipment. I was at a different studio producing, but I have since gone completely solo so that I have more control over my music. And I have a little setup, which is exactly opposite to where you can see. But if I turned it around, you can see my little soundproof. Very cheap. It's what I could afford. But yeah, the next song that I have coming out will be all my production.
Okay.
As soon as I finally sign off on it.
Oh, amazing. Okay, I was just curious. Wow. Do you have a timeline for that, when that's going to come out, or not really yet?
I thought it would be out by now because I technically finished it, but I keep going back and tweaking it. So right now I'm giving it a week break of me not listening to it, and I'll listen to it again. And if it's done, I'll go take some pictures and I'll put it out.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to be. Soon. Yeah, that's a good way to be. I feel is when you put on the shelf for a while and then you come back and you're you know what, I don't know why I'm being so harsh on it. She's I mean, people are always like, oh, it's never gonna be ready, but you know, at some point it will be ready.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about now that I'm, in charge of my own production, I don't have someone else being like, we have to put this out now. So I can just like mess with it forever. But it does drive you crazy at some point.
It's dangerous, but I'm sure it's nice to have that kind of autonomy with your music as well.
I like it a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that, so how do you, I know you said you started at 16, which is so young. So how do you feel? Obviously you've grown a lot since then. Are you 20 now, or?
I'm 20, yeah.
Okay, so obviously you've grown a lot since. So how has your character arc been with with music building? Do you have like a different like mission or kind of a sound that you lean toward more, or?
Actually the biggest difference with some of my writing that I've seen, because I'm still, even on Saturday, I'm going to be performing like 2 or 3 songs from when I was like 16.
Oh,
but
cool.
The biggest difference is my writing style is like, I don't know if anyone else would notice, but to me it's different, where I think I used to write very romantically, like very everything's a metaphor, like everything's convoluted. And I think some of my newer writings are more straightforward and more like, this is how I'm feeling, not like, here's a story about a girl in the woods. But it all comes back and forth. View like working on music differently. Like I definitely sit down and like, I'm very 9 to 5 about it, so I don't get burnt out, but also so I keep producing a lot. So that's different.
That's good.
I'm more emotionally mature.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like that's definitely it's something good to have, to be more like confident in your writing and know like where you want to take it and stuff. So that's awesome. But so going a little bit back to like now you're saying you're producing your own stuff now. So what does your music making process look like? Like, do you start with like lyrics, or is it kind of changing every time, or?
Now that I've started recording my own stuff, I've had more freedom in how I do write. Normally, I sit down with my guitar and a piece of paper or my notebook. I usually have a notebook. I'm on notebook number 6 right now. That's how kind of manic I am with it.
Wow.
But, I sit down and I figure out a chord progression, something easy, something really simple. And then I just start kind of writing whatever I'm either thinking about, or maybe it's random. It depends on the day, whether or not I planned it out. And then after that, if the song is good, that's when I'll start recording it and trying to like track things. But now that I have the equipment, a couple of times I've tried to like build the sound first and then write lyrics, but it's not as natural to me.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I feel like that's always interesting to know, because everybody does have such a different system for how they do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that could kind of speak to you being like a writer first too. I don't know.
Everything needs to be simple first.
Yeah, no, I like that. So kind of moving on to, I wanted to share like a funny story. I don't know if you remember this, but since we were in high school together, I remember this one time you walked past me and you looked at me like, you're so serious. I was like, what? And
oh my God. I don't know where you're going with this. I'm kind of scared.
No, don't be scared. And you were like, are you a Cancer? And I was like, yes, like you just guessed and like you got it right. So I was curious if you were still into astrology and if that like affected your music making at all.
I definitely am. I don't know if it affects my music. I have some like references in some of my songs. Like Don't Let Me Sleep mentions like a retrograde.
Yeah.
Though I do pay attention to what's happening with like planetary transits before making like big decisions with the music, which I don't know if that sounds lame or pretentious, but I'm like, if I'm feeling really unsure about a song, I like look up what's happening with all the planets in conjunction with each other. And then it's going to be like, hey, you probably feel bad right now. And it's right. So I go, okay, I feel a little bit better. It's not the song.
No, definitely. That's really cool, because I know a lot of people I know like here in Columbia are also really into astrology. So I just feel like it's interesting to know that. And that's cool. I don't know. I like that a lot. So kind of moving on, I know that I saw on your Instagram, I'm a little stalker, so I saw on your Instagram that one of your songs came out like a year and a half ago now. So congrats on like that milestone. It's been out for
yeah.
And was that song, it was called American Beauty, right? Okay.
And it was kind of sorry.
Oh no, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's kind of the overarching. It was an EP of 4 songs, but that was the song that came out. Oh no, that one did not come out first, but it came out like that's the album.
Oh, okay, amazing. Okay. Well, with that EP then, so was that inspired by the movie American Beauty or?
You caught me. You're the first person to ask that. And
Really?
you're right. It is. It's one of when I first watched it. I think I wrote those collection of songs mostly in like 2019, maybe 2020. I don't know. Some of the years are starting to escape me.
Yeah.
But that when I watched that movie, it is so disturbing and so beautifully shot and cinematic that I was like, that's my music.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And I don't know, I was just very inspired by it, especially because I was like that right age of being like a teen girl watching this grown man view teen girls, and also just all the different weird dynamics all the people had. I don't know. I really loved that movie.
Yeah.
That Kevin Spacey really sucks.
Yeah, that's definitely
not to bring that up in the interview.
Yeah, come on, Alexis.
I can't mention the movie without being like, yeah, that dude sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean it's true. So I mean you gotta say it.
I don't know. I don't want people thinking I condone him.
Oh no, oh my god, definitely not. But no, that's what I thought when I saw that song or EP. I was just like, I feel like that definitely was inspired by the movie. So I'm glad that I know that now. So aside from American Beauty, like, are you inspired in your music by any other like movies or art in general that has a big impact on you, even like other musicians as well? Because I feel like, or some of the songs I listen to by you are like, I get Fleetwood Mac vibes a little.
Hey, you are giving me too much credit. I do love Fleetwood Mac. When it comes to different like books and movies, I usually whatever songs I'm writing is inspired by whatever current book I'm reading, except I'm not reading anything right now, so I need to start again. But even if it's as simple as like a couple of lines pulled and then like reworked, there's been a couple of different books where I've done that and had different like themes from things.
That's cool.
Not usually movies. American Beauty was one of the only ones that I can think of, though yeah, that's probably the only ones with that. And then with musicians, I just try to listen to as many genres of people as I can so that whatever comes out of me is not the same. And I don't know, you can get more hearing like a really cool drum beat in like a rap song that you can put into like a soft song. I don't know. I like that kind of mix matching of things. So I just try to keep it broad.
I like that. No, I like that you're listening to a lot of different genres to like just be able to have all those influences. It's a really good way to be. So kind of going off that, I know these questions are like, why would you ask me this? But
no,
is there any, or this next one is like,
oh, okay.
Is there, what kind of music are you listening to right now? Like, I don't know if you have any like specific artists you really like, or a song you've been like having on repeat or something. I feel like that's always something cool to know.
Okay. I bet people can hear this in me on Saturday because I've been going very acoustic lately. And it's because I've been listening to a lot of Amy Mann and a lot of Boa.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know, but Amy Mann's the soundtrack to Magnolia. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
No.
Great movie. And then Boa, I like to think they're super popular. They got popular on TikTok, but not everybody knows them. The lead singer is Jasmine Rogers. She's super cool. So that's been the main two.
That's cool. I have to look both these up because I don't know. I'm writing them down now.
I'm trying to think. I think Twilight by Boa is like the one to listen to.
Okay, awesome. After this, I'm gonna go on Spotify and search then.
It's always good to have new music recommendations.
Yeah, no, I love it. Okay, I'll look that up. That sounds awesome. But kind of my last official question for you before I ask, like, if you want to say anything, is what's like the dream goal for you as an artist? Like, I know some people are just like, I want to keep making music. That's kind of my goal. Or some people are just like, I want to collab with this artist or like go to this festival. So like, do you have something in mind for what you want to do in the future?
Over the last year, I think what I would answer to this has changed a lot. right now I'm kind of in a period where I don't know exactly where I want to go with it. I want to keep making music. Like that is something in me that has never died.
Yeah.
But I have fallen in love with production as well. So I am like being like, I would love to like work with other artists and like mix their songs and like meet people that way. Cause there's something so beautiful about like people's songs getting made. Like that process of audio engineering, I really do love.
Yeah.
But with my own music, I just want to keep making it and keep performing. And hopefully it could be like my official vocation. So I don't have to do any other kind of jobs. Or at least if I do work, it's music related, you know?
Yeah, definitely. No, that's really cool. And actually something I meant to ask you earlier was like, how did you learn like the production side of things? Like, was that something you taught yourself, or was it something you kind of learned from other people?
It was both, kind of. When I was working at this different studio, and I call it a studio very lightly, it was a guitar lesson shop that had a room with equipment.
Okay.
I would sit, at first I would just, when I was 16, I would sit and I would like watch like a hawk, what they were doing, what was happening with the mixes, how things are being tracked. And then even when they weren't recording my stuff, I would just like come hang out and watch them mix other people's songs.
Yeah.
And so I just did that. And then as the years went on, I started taking over and being like, okay, I kind of understand how to automate. Let me try doing this. Let me try to hit these buttons. And now that I'm on my own, I'm watching a lot of YouTube tutorials and mostly just playing around with the digital audio workspace that I have.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it out. I wouldn't say I'm anywhere professional yet, but I can get a song down.
Yeah, well, that's what matters. And I feel like it's always good to like just learn by like watching people that really know what they're doing. So it's good that you're able to do that even like at 16, which is cool.
Yeah. I'm happy 16-year-old me had the foresight.
Yeah, definitely. That's always very helpful.
Right.
Well, that's kind of all I had for you. I don't know if you want to plug anything or say anything before we sign off here.
Ooh, how pretentious is it to plug myself? Follow me on Instagram, Alexis T. Perry, on Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter much, but I have it.
Okay,
I have
cool.
TikTok.
You have TikTok too?
I do. On that, I usually either just post like whatever stupid TikTok stuff, or I post like little videos of me playing. And that's alexisperry.jpg.
Okay, cool. I love it. Okay. That's always good to have.
A new song coming out indefinitely.
Yay.
It'll be out eventually.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on you for that, because it sounds so exciting, especially since you produce it yourself and stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, more pressure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and we're really excited to see you at FemFest. So yeah,
I'm excited to be there. It'll be my first performance in Columbia.
Oh my gosh,
so that's exciting.
Gonna pack the place.
Oh my gosh, I hope so. I hope everybody shows up.
Yeah, no, definitely. It'll be great.